What's going on, guys? This is Raymond Ironbody McKinney, and today I want to talk about um, labels. When we think about, and what do I mean by labels? So I think about, say, for example, we always put labels on things, thinking when we put labels on things, we give our energy to that. If we think, well, if we want to be popular, for people to recognize us. It's like we want to dress up a certain way, maybe like dress a certain way, thinking that people will like us. Up here, logically, it makes sense, but down here, something doesn't seem right. Like you could, and like if people tell you you need to dress up this way in order to be liked, you all these things. But when people listen to that and take that, accept that's true up here, thinking, I'm not good enough. I'm not any of these things, and the only way I can be this way is to go based on what other people are saying. It's like I gotta validate myself through other people, and that's not true. That's not true, guys. Same with I think of when you're trying to seek deep information, like the meaning in life, deeper meanings in life. You're always gonna find them, no matter what. They're always mirroring you. Those people that tell you that you gotta dress a certain way or you gotta be this certain way, or that you gotta look like this or act like this, all this stuff, they're only telling your current subconscious state. That's all they're doing, guys. They're relatively telling your mirroring your subconscious state. You're always moving through states of consciousness. It's literally, you don't need to be dressed. You don't need to dress up like this. Say like if you want to tell people, hey, I'm this wizard or something. Don't dress up like a wizard. Internally be the wizard. When people live from within, everything relatively mirrors that inner assumption. David Goggins, I think, is a great example. Like he talked about in one of his videos. He always wanted to be like the class clown or something, always dressing up in just crazy attire and all these things. He wanted to prove people how he wanted to prove to others to gain validation. And he just felt empty inside during that time. And then he, like over his lifetime, just learned that the power of the mind, like he learned himself he changed the way he thought about himself. He's changed his perception of how he viewed himself in relation to the world. And that's how he wanted to view himself as the toughest man alive. And then he became that state, that toughest man alive. He even says that with air quotes, toughest man alive, because he realizes that we're just moving through states. We're just moving through states. I'm not saying to be like David Goggins, obviously. Like he does some pretty intense stuff, but like his mindset is just, he's a living example of just how powerful the mind is. Like he literally went through, he was born with a hole in his heart. He was overweight at one point before going through Navy SEAL training. He had an abusive father who just beat his mom and his brother and himself. It just and yet he overcame all those past experiences. He learned from those things. He learned from him, and he redirected his inner perception of being the toughest man alive. So that's just one living example of how powerful the mind is. So, when I talk about labels, that's just an example. Like I think David Goggins is a great example of showing like how powerful the mind is. Where do you want to go? What do you want to be in life? You don't work towards something; you become it. He like going through Navy SEAL training. He visualized himself graduating while he was in a physical body of a 300-pound man. and he still visualized himself crossing the stage, or Navy SEAL graduation, whatever. And he did. He actually did. 'Cause physical effort and grinding work alone, guys, is not going to get you anywhere in life. You must see yourself. You're only, think of it, instead of moving through physical space and time, physical external space and time, think of it as moving through states of consciousness. You're only moving through states of consciousness. That's it. And that's what externalizes physical appearances and physical experiences. And just like Einstein, when he said he saw like what was it? I saw in one of the books I was reading that gravity is not like this thing where it's like you drop an apple. It goes so far. It goes much deeper than that. He talked about gravity is the curvature of space-time, of the space-time continuum, created by mass, which is basically how we perceive the world. That's what pretty much I take it as, however we perceive the world in relation to ourselves. How we perceive the world, how we perceive ourselves in relation to the world is what determines our physical experiences relatively. So guys, again, you don't need to know all the science, because here's another thing I learned about when I went to a meeting. I felt like I was still analytical, trying to figure things out. And I was revealed by this person at this meeting the other night, and she showed me a card, a magician. It really mirrored back to me that I was overthinking the complexities of the universe, when really I just need to claim and assume I'm a magician. Instead of trying to figure out quantum physics and all this stuff, just make it simple, guys. This is literally a game of the mind. You are the master magician. David Goggins is a magician. Every one of you is a magician. You don't have to call it magician. You don't have to call it wizard. You don't have to call it any of those things. Just realize you can claim anything you want in this world. Be anything in this world you want. Because it's just a panoramic, external picture of our inner collective perception, or inner collective intentions, our deep, honest intentions of ourselves. That's what reveals our relative experiences. You cannot. Let me say it again, or let me reword that. You cannot miss your desire. When you're deeply honest with yourself, and what you claim to be, what you deeply claim to be, honestly claim to be in relation to the world, you will see that relatively. You're not controlling the outside world. It's just only mirroring a relatively different view of yourself. Neville Goddard says, everyone, or the whole vast world's yourself pushed out. You're not controlling anything outside of you guys. You're only changing your inner perception. And that's what reveals those synchronistic moments. It doesn't matter if people say it would have happened anyway. Live your life. Stop trying to prove others wrong. Prove yourself right. Just like Iron Cowboy says, live your life. Embody the state or desire. The desired state. Embody, become in that state. You're just moving through states, guys. That's it. This is literally probably this. If once you realize that just you're moving through states just by what do you want, what do you desire to be? By moving through states. That's it. That's it. Just assume the desire is already coming into being for you. And you will be shown the way, inevitably. You will be shown synchronistic moments. So I hope this video helps. Bless y'all, and happy manifesting. Stop putting labels on things, because you are the power that you're giving life to states. That's it.